My name is Chu Machinye, and I am your family lawyer. Under Nigerian law, particularly the Constitution of Nigeria, children born out of wedlock are entitled to equal rights of inheritance, provided that paternity is acknowledged. Once this is done, discriminatory customary laws are deemed unconstitutional and unenforceable. Next, let us provide you with an invaluable advisory. If you are in this kind of difficult situation, or someone you know is in such uncomfortable situation, where you or that person is directly or by innuendo labeled as illegitimate, there are veritable steps that you can take to assert inheritance rights under Nigerian law. First, let me hasten to say, boldly too, that the days are gone when a man could just deny paternity because the act is usually done in secret and without witnesses. You know what I mean. In those days, it was his word against her word. But today, technology is the ever-present witness when you copulate in darkness or in a room. This witness it does not take bribe, and it is immaterial how loud or how long your denial is. DNA does not lie. So if you feel like you are shortchanged by reason of allegation of illegitimacy, second advice I should give is get a lawyer to help you. And whilst you're at it, make sure that if there is a pending application for letters of administration, you issue a caveat. If it is application for probate, also issue a caveat. If the will has been read and nothing is given to you, go to court. Now, in all of this, the assistance of a good family lawyer is invaluable. If you are not too sure what to do, visit our website for free legal guidance on what you should do. Before we leave you today, let us quickly talk about a growing phenomenon in Nigeria, the baby mama phenomenon, for which there are legal and social implications. Let us examine this trending matter, which has become the practice of many Nigerian entertainment celebrities. Let us talk about the implication of the baby mama phenomenon in Nigeria. And let us examine objectively its implications for the randy guys, for the willing baby mamas, and for the helpless but innocent babies that are born in the course of these arrangements. The term baby mama has gained prominence in Nigerian society, referring to a woman who has a child outside the bounds of marriage and often without a stable partnership with the child's father. This phenomenon intersects with various legal, cultural, and social issues affecting the rights and the responsibilities of all the parties involved, but most importantly, affecting the rights of the child to a proper home to be brought up in, as provided by the Child Rights Act. In Nigeria, the mother of a child born out of wedlock is typically granted custody, especially when the child is of tender age. The father's rights are not automatic and often require legal acknowledgement or paternity proof. Whilst the baby mama holds custody of the child, she's actually entitled to seek child support from the father if he is known, identifiable, and agreeable as the father. However, enforcement can sometimes be challenging due to societal stigma and the lack of formal agreements between her and the sperm bearer, whom we should call the father. Unmarried mothers often face societal judgments which can impact their social standing and opportunities. This stigma is more pronounced in conservative communities, and it is indeed condemnable. The modern Nigerian woman, however, seems to have moved past this stigma. It looks now like a desirable social status to be identified as the baby mama of male celebrities of diverse status, including even ubiquitous social media influencers This is a tendency fueled mostly by the greed and hunger for social media hype and possible income. An extremely obnoxious idea that is as condemnable as stigmatizing genuinely disadvantaged single mothers. Historically, children born out of wedlock face discrimination, of which we've had extensive discourse. These discriminations often include inheritance issues. But as we told you, Section 42 of the Nigerian Constitution and the Child Rights Act actually go a long way to protect them. Because Section 42 says that, Section 42(2), no citizen of Nigeria shall be subjected to any disability or deprivation merely by reason of the circumstances of his birth. Note that despite this unambiguous constitutional covering, practical challenges remain, especially in customary law contexts where legitimacy is tied to marriage. There are even bigger challenges where the presumed father is legally married, and sometimes, or indeed oftentimes, with children before he ventured into the baby mama adventure. Having addressed this social media fad for what it is, let us turn our attention to the critical question of how children born outside marriage can be clothed with legitimacy under Nigerian laws. A child born out of wedlock can be legitimated through some of the following means. The most common one is acknowledgement by the father, a public recognition, such as naming ceremony, or a written acknowledgement, or a public announcement amongst his kinsmen, stating clearly that this child is mine. There could also be the possibility of subsequent marriage or customary performance of some rites that legitimates that child through the mother. If the parents marry after the child is born, of course, that child may be considered legitimate under certain laws in Nigeria. There is, of course, the now well-known possibility of DNA testing as a veritable medical process to ascertain paternity, and it is now easily and readily accessible in Nigeria. But let's not leave out the father. There are a few legal implications for that unnamed father of the baby mama, of the child. Fathers may deny paternity to avoid responsibilities or embarrassment and potential divorce if they are married. If they deny paternity, mothers can seek legal redress through DNA testing. Courts can order paternity tests to establish biological relationships. And sometimes, legal court declarations can validate the paternity of a child, even when there is no DNA testing. Circumstances can establish that that child belongs to the man. Now, a child born outside marriage may face identity challenges, including societal labeling and exclusion from family lineage. We have discussed this in details, and we have also shown you what options are available to you as a child if you face this situation. Don't shy away from it. Don't be embarrassed. Take actual steps and redeem yourself. Once paternity is established, fathers are obligated legally to provide child support, regardless of the marital status with the mother. So if you know your rights, enforce it, and then you will get it. Let me now explain some of these things through stories. A few stories to just bring this home. Legal arguments could be boring sometimes, and so that is why we often lace it with these stories of decided cases to help you, relate with it in practical terms. The High Court of Lagos State in 1988 had to decide a matter where a woman sued a popular musician for child support, claiming that he fathered her child. The court ordered a DNA testing, which confirmed paternity. The musician was then mandated to provide monthly maintenance and education funds for the child, even though they were never married and may not ever marry. Then sometime in 2020, a man denied paternity here in Abuja, denied paternity of a child born by his former partner. The mother filed for child support. Note that I said partner, not wife. Those cohabiting, they say, living in sin. The court, upon establishing paternity through DNA evidence, ordered the man to pay monthly support and contribute to the child's education. So clearly, there is no hiding place for the father. If you go do the do, be prepared to take care of the child that is born as a result of your activities. A little bit of culture in this. Under Yoruba and Igbo traditions, and in many other Nigerian cultures, legitimacy is closely tied up to marriage. Children born outside wedlock may face challenges with recognition within the family lineage, and sometimes gossips here and there about their true identity prevail and persist most of their lifetime, irrespective of what the court might say. Under Islamic law, Sharia emphasizes the sanctity of marriage, and so children born outside marriage may not have inheritance rights from the father's side unless expressly acknowledged. And for those of us who are Christian perspectives might have a say in some of this. While Christianity promotes forgiveness and acceptance, many denominations advocate for children to be born strictly within the marriage. Of course, the Catholic Church is in this, the Anglican Church is in it, Pentecostal churches too, actually, are even stronger in this way. But they must note that a child is born when the child is born, irrespective of how that child is born. He or she is a child. Now, my final word on today's episode. Whilst it is now a fad, I am inclined to think that promoting the baby mama syndrome or phenomenon as a pathway to climbing the social and economic ladder cheapens womanhood and degrades the institution of marriage. Controversial as this may sound, it is my opinion that it is bad behavior and should be discouraged. This, of course, is not and should not be construed or interpreted as an affront on single mothers. No. There are many situations, many circumstances which could compel a woman to become a single mother, and a lot of these circumstances are unsavory and condemnable. Women in such situations or circumstances should be applauded and supported by all means and by all and sundry, including yours truly. This is clearly distinguishable from the unwholesome degradation of the age-long institution of a man and a woman and children as a family unit. The legitimacy of children born outside marriage in Nigeria presents complex legal and social challenges. Whilst our Constitution and its provisions aim to protect the rights of all citizens, including children that are born out of wedlock, it is obvious that societal attitudes and customary practices are lagging behind. It is imperative, therefore, for legal reforms and public awareness to bridge this gap and ensure that all parties and the rights and responsibilities of all involved are clearly defined and protected with dignity. It is time to go, but I can't possibly do this without thanking you for spending a bit of your time with me on today's episode of Your Family Lawyer. If you enjoyed this episode, or even if you did not enjoy it, but you found it useful, please click the like button, make a comment, click the subscribe button, and share so that others may benefit like you have done. Join me next Saturday when we'll continue to guide you through the laws that protect your legacy. My name is Chuma Chinye, and I am your family lawyer.